So it wasn't long after it became clear that my personal beliefs did not align with the way that I was raised. Um, that I wasn't really sure what I believed. And so, of course, you go searching, most people do. And I found that I felt these things to be like intrinsically true that I was hearing from other people. Things that I had never heard before, but they just felt like truth to me. And so, one common thread that most of my mentors gave me was to meditate. And of course, like everybody, I balked at it first. It doesn't work for me. My brain doesn't be quiet, ADHD undiagnosed. Of course, it didn't be quiet, which is not the goal of meditation. Um, so I decided to give it a try, and I studied and I read and I went to lectures and I took courses and classes on meditation and yoga and um, all sorts of different breathing techniques and meditation techniques and through all of this reading and studying and meditation, I began to define my own personal belief about the universe. And people ask me often about it, and I find that many people agree, even though this is not something that I ever read in a book anywhere, which I mean, I've seen common threads of it in books since like then, but it did start as something that I just felt to be true. So I fully and firmly believe that there is, whatever you want to call it, divine spark, source energy, um, the Holy Ghost. That's what Christians would refer to it as. Um, whatever you want to call it, I believe that that is in every single person. I believe that we're not as unique as we think we are. I mean, we are as individuals, but we all have this ability. I am very intuitive and empathic, but it's because I learned how to exercise that particular energetic muscle. And just like anything else, it has to be learned. Even if you are a savant, you still have to like do it to be able to do it proficiently, right? So I believe that we're all connected. I believe that we all have this spark inside of us, this power to go inside of us and find the universe. I believe that when we seek that place, we find the answers that we're looking for, which is why so many people's advice for fixing your life is you have to look inside yourself. You do. It seems so cliche, and it's such a coined phrase that it almost doesn't carry any meaning anymore. But when you go into that divine spark that we all carry and reach the universe, that is where all knowledge is, in my personal belief, that we are of the knowing and we come here to have experiences, to gather data in these experiences, and return again to the knowing, to add that information to the collective knowledge. I believe that each one of us has the ability here in this place to tap into that knowledge to help this world remain in a high enough vibrational field that we are okay. I don't know any other way to put it. But maybe hell. Maybe it's, like there's a lot of different words for different things. maybe the lower vibrational fields being like that place where everything is miserable and hard and, war and famine and hunger, like, we're getting really close to here. But I feel like we who can tap into that and have figured that out, we are here to keep things on an even keel, right? So we're called to teach, we're called to heal, we're called to love and care. And so I felt called. I've always been called to heal. Like I wanted to be a teach and heal. I wanted to be a special education teacher, and then I was a CNA, and then a vet tech, and doing just everything that I've wanted to do has always been about helping people. I've done home health care and nursing and just all sorts of stuff that is around that. And while it was good, it was rewarding, it wasn't fulfilling. So I knew that it had more to do with the spirit and being able to help people heal, not just physically. And I had a mentor who made it very clear that they believed that I was on the right path. And they gave me a book. And it was a book on Celtic shamanism. And this book opened my eyes. A lot of what the book talked about resonated with me. Things that I had never read before, but already knew. And they aligned with an experience that I had had where I had been laying in bed and was pulled into a whole nother I don't know if there's a word for it, but anyway, I wasn't here. I was definitely somewhere else, and it sounded like an experience that they explain in the book where a shaman purposely creates an environment that is conducive to traveling into other realms to gather knowledge of medicine to bring back and heal their people. That's like the basis of shamanism. And I knew that that was what I was supposed to be doing, whether it's the path of the shaman or not, because that is a very committed and distinct path that I'm not claiming. I do not claim to be a shaman. I do claim to be a healer, and it doesn't mean that I just, I put my hands on you and you can walk after, being born with no use of your legs. I'm not claiming any of that. Not that I'm discounting that that's something that can be done or that people have done. I'm just saying I'm not claiming that. But I have been able to train myself up in those ways now to attain that knowledge through that channel from the knowing to bring back and help. And when you are in the knowing, you are your higher self because you have all of the knowledge of all of the existences that are being added to the knowing. So I believed that I was being called to this shaman path, and I decided that I was going to prepare myself for my first purposeful journey into the other realm, where I would I laugh at this and you'll hear why in a second, but where I will learn some great, huge, grand, magical secret that will completely change everything about me and make me this magically powerful healing being who can just heal people. Like, I didn't know what I was expecting. It wasn't that extreme, but I decided that I was going to um, work with my body and with my guides, and I spent 6 months preparing in meditation, um, uh, trying to heal my body physically as well. I know I don't look the picture of health, but I am healthier than I have ever been in a long time. I was born with a lot of issues, and I've been healing my body slowly and surely. But I prepared through meditation, through exercise, eating right, studying, um, herbal preparation, and when it was time, I sat to meditate and used certain herbs to help induce, and don't nothing not saying anything about what it was. It's not something you just put out there. Anyway, so when I had taken this concoction, I sat there with my eyes closed, and I went, oh, it didn't work. I didn't travel. I didn't journey. Maybe I'm not supposed to be a shaman. And all of a sudden I realized that I was floating in an abyss of intensely vibrant dark blue with billions and billions and billions of teeny tiny specks of the brightest white light you could ever imagine. And it was the knowing, and I was being shown each individual spark. And I looked at, somehow I have no body, but I looked down at my waist and I have billions of strings attached to me that travel on tension out into the universe forever, for infinity. And I reach down and I go twang, and across the nothing, boom. And the universe says to me, can we get started now? You knew this. You had to see, you had to do this to know what you knew. Can we get started now? Can we get to work? It was basically the message. So I'm laughing at myself because of how much pressure I put on this one moment, which the journey was good for me. It prepared me to continue doing what I was supposed to be doing. But it gave me the confirmation that I needed to know that I am on the right path, and that we are all connected, and that if I don't just do what I'm here to do, if I don't just start healing me and those around me, then what's the point? Because if we are all connected, when I heal me, I heal you. And when I help you heal, I heal me. So, how can I help you heal?